Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I bring you the state versus the Mastication Station. With your host, Tony J Lemmon. And held over again this week is the Studio Ed, Lee Daly, no other applicants. This week's guests are BMW enthusiast and author Bill Valley and physical therapist and movie buff Roz Brown. And putting more meat in the sandwich than you can ever imagine, house band, The Leading Brand. Our sponsor this week is Spoons. Spoons. They have a convex side and a concave side. They can do much more than you'll ever imagine. Thanks, Spoons. And now, if you were a rich man, yeedle-deedle-diddle-doodle-dum, Tony J Lemmon. Welcome to Mastication Station. I am Tony, your host, and contrary to popular belief, no, I am not a thick Andy Serkis. And speaking of him, hey, I am excited about the Star Wars movie. You know, the original Star Wars movies were so cool to me. I remember going there as a kid to see the original Star Wars. I remember I had my, it was like yesterday, I had my Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox, and I was getting pantsed by 6th graders. In fact, it's still happening. So, hey, it's the Studio Ed right there, ladies and gentlemen. On probation, last known photo.
Hi, everybody. Hey, the probation was lifted. Okay, it was more of an order of non-disclosure. We'd like to thank. We have some special guests in our audience tonight. We have the Wichita State Rotary Club have filled in our VIP section this evening. We thank all of you guys for coming and paying that extra $1 for those VIP seatings. You know, Tony, when I think about it, what does VIP really mean?
VIP stands for venting in plasma.
Oh, I was thinking like a very impressive portfolio.
Oh, I
but
thought
when I look
maybe
at the
it was
audience,
perhaps
I don't see that
veal inside partitions.
Veal inside pigs.
That's even better.
That's like a turducken
like
kind of thing.
Turkey ducking.
Veal inside pigs. I have another one for you.
Oh, what is it?
Okay, here's a good one.
Okay.
From my science book that I divided. We get AAIS. Think AAIS. It is science. It's a science acronym.
Antelopes at Indiana stations.
You're close.
Yes.
Okay. Want to know what it is?
Okay.
Okay. Alien aquatic invasive species.
Well, I was close.
So what would that be? Like a duck?
That would be a turducken.
A turducken that's actually a duck.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Let's see what the studio audience says.
What does the studio audience say? I didn't say anything. I don't even know what that is. Hey, hashtag you all, whatever that means. Hashtag turducken. What is hashtag anyway? I mean, I always grew up with a pound sign or a number sign, but it's hashtag now. Somebody stop me. Somebody change this up. And I'm wondering about that because selfies are this rampant thing that's going around the country that we have to stop. Because all these people are taking selfies in one of two places. Either in a bathroom or in the driver's seat of a car. Now, if you're driving a 3,000-pound cage of steel, I think the last thing you probably want to do is taking a picture of yourself. Hashtag pound sign. I'm not a twit.
Why
I'm
do
not
they
a
take
tweeter.
pictures of themselves?
I don't know, but they're in a car.
Are you that lonely? You know that you have to flip through your phone and see pictures of yourself
while you're driving?
While you're driving? I mean, not for you because you're not allowed to drive anymore in this state, anyways. No. Can't even park in this state. We had to park way over there by Wendy's, and I'm probably getting towed right now.
Well, for this joke, I've worn a beard because I wasn't sure if I was going to get any rotten tomatoes thrown at me. I've been paying attention to some politics lately. I don't know if you have been. Lee hasn't been at all.
Not a bit.
Because he thought it was a sport. So.
I just like pole jumping.
Pole jumping.
Pole diving. And you said politics. It lost me.
Okay, because the pole's always saying something.
Yeah, like
the pole's
my
right
Roman
by
spear.
Roman spear.
Roman spear, right from Rome.
And what year is that from?
1965. The Romans were big.
Was China part of Rome at that
Well,
time?
Rome played China in the Pole Olympics.
And the curling.
In the curling and hurling and churling.
And chucking and plucking
And
yucking.
chucking and plucking, and you can finish that sentence on your own.
Yes. Rhyming is fun, of course. So anyway, there's this candidate. I think he's really interesting, that's running for president. And what's interesting about him is he's this older fellow, and his name is Bunny. I think Bunny is just a really weird name for a candidate for president. I think it'd be really interesting to have President Bunny.
First, what would be the first lady?
I don't know. Easter.
First Lady Easter Bunny.
Yes.
That's nice.
But his first name is Bunny. His last name is Sandus. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Bernie Sanders? Oh, wait, Bernie.
No,
Bernie
you're
Sanders.
thinking of
That's his
Weekend
name.
at Bernie's.
Because he says, "I'm Bernie Sanders, and I'm running for president of the United States." So I just think that was kind of interesting. I thought his name was Bunny. It was Bernie.
You're getting that right.
Somebody over here said Bernie. So.
That was that weekend we spent at Bernie's house.
Oh, yeah.
That
Can
was-
we do that thing like that?
What a guy, what a guy.
But he's nothing like that Trump character, because there's a lot of people that are scared of him, these days, because they're really afraid of his hair on the button, So I don't know about that. But Lee Daly's right here, the studio ed.
Hi, folks.
He's gonna say
Welcome back to
something
the show.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Well, let's see.
Whatever it is, x equals 8, I'm sure,
Right.
because that's what it always ends up being.
But isn't, according to Douglas Adams, 42.
42.
42 is the answer. I've read all of his books. I've seen him in person, and that number just keeps coming up, 42. And I asked him, Doug, because we're on first name basis,
Right, of
Doug, 42, what's it mean? And he said, well, Lee, it's part of an equation. And he walked away. I was stunned. That's brilliant.
I'm always with my other friends, Funk and Wagnall. I think those guys are just
I hang out with Webb and Stir.
I think they're hilarious. It's a hilarious time.
That's just strange.
So we only have one more time, or excuse me, we only have one more joke. We have time for one more joke. Okay, enough. I'm going to take the studio and turn it right around, so you be careful up there. We have time for one more joke. Here's the first option for everyone. And the first option is a tractor driving 60 miles an hour on the Autobahn, pulling a camper. So that's the first joke we have to come up with a punchline for. The second joke is perhaps a better one, and that is, at West Point, they have banned pillow fights. They have banned pillow fights at West Point because people have been getting broken noses. I don't know if they have pillows inside them or bricks.
Are these any of the cadets?
Is there any of them at West
Not just
Point?
the female cadets.
No, all of them. If you looked at the picture, you saw that it was males, females, and anything in between. So.
There was a lot blurred. I couldn't make it out.
The third option for our last joke that you can vote for as a studio audience is the witch that is taking a warlock to court for harassment. So, studio audience, you can vote now for which joke is next. I'll give you 10 seconds.
Studio audience, you'll find a little electronic device underneath your chair, and there are 3 buttons, A, B, and a C. Go ahead and push which
don't
of those
hit the
buttons,
fourth one.
But do not hit the red one. That will be bad for the person sitting to your right. Go ahead and vote now.
Okay, time's up. And the winner is, look at your computer screen this time.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, this was a close one. But I think our folks from Wichita pushed it over the edge.
Okay.
They're going with the tractor joke.
It's going with the tractor joke. And the punchline for the tractor joke is, it looks like that Doc Brown is out of control. He's been to the beer fest, and now he's over going home.
Oh, it's one of your worst jokes.
That's one of my, that's
one of the worst jokes I've ever heard.
Pulling a camper.
Thank you, studio audience, for just taking us
You really
way over
screwed
the
it
edge of good right into bad.
My other punchline was really, really good. I mean, it was fantastic. It was probably the best joke I have written in my entire 3-week career. But you're not going to hear it because you didn't vote on it. So we are going to have some good guests tonight. We have Bill Valley is here. We're going to talk about some BMWs. And also Roz Brown is a therapist, a physical therapist, and we're going to see what happens with that. So we'll be right back. Please join us after these commercials. Thanks.
Versatility is what made Bob Seagren the first Superstars champion. Versatility makes the full line of 3M copiers superstars. Versatility to both of these superstars means having the speed to set them ahead of their competition, like the fastest first copy of any plain paper copier, or cycling the mile in under 3 minutes. It means the confidence to handle new challenges like sending a copy by phone in 4 minutes, or playing tennis on a highly competitive level. It means the ability to reduce oversized originals to letter-sized copies, or reduce time and motion to conquer the challenge of swimming. It means the ability to dial a copy length from 5 to 14 inches, or the stamina to win the 100 or the half mile. That's what versatility means to the superstars.
Don't you guys ever quit?
Now 3M challenges you to compare. Before you buy or lease any copier, call us.
Hey, welcome back to Mastication Station. With me now is Bill Valley.
Hi, Bill.
And Bill Valley is an owner of BMWs. Welcome, Bill, everyone.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Good to have you here, Bill.
It's great to be here.
It took 6 months to get you here, but we're glad you're here.
So how long have you had your BMW?
Let's see. Presently, I own 2 BMWs. I have my old one, and I got that baby in about 1997. And I owned it over 20 years, and it's been a very reliable, faithful car. It's a 1987 325 IC, and the IC means it's fuel injected, and the C means it's a convertible.
Oh, I thought maybe it meant ick.
No, not it.
So where did, what?
There's a math thing. You got it in 97,
Yes,
and you had it for 20 years.
Yes.
And it's an 87.
yes, it's a 1987.
And you got it in 97, and you
Yes,
had
it
it
was
for 20
10
years.
years old when I got it.
And you've had it for 20 years.
Yes.
Are you satisfied? He's not lying.
Well, wouldn't that take it to 2017?
Oh.
Well, it's close.
Who sent you? Who do you work for?
Yeah, this is like a German thing, right?
Okay.
Okay. I'm
So the BMWs are made where? And where do they come
They are
from?
made in Bavaria.
Okay.
A Bavarian Motor Works. That's what BMW stands
Bavarian
for.
Motor Works, BMW.
Yes.
And what does ASAP stand for? You had that earlier, didn't
Yeah,
you?
we did talk about that. I think it's Americans Civil, no, let's see, American SAPs at Purdue.
At parades. I think.
On parades.
Oh,
that'd be
that'd be
the, oh,
ASOP,
that'd be
wouldn't it?
ASOP.
That's a fable. I
That
think.
is a fable. Fable.
Feeble.
That
So
was-
Bavaria, and there's a symbol on the front of the BMW. What is that thing?
Yes. Well, what that is, that symbol, it's blue and white, and when the white means space and the blue means that's a propeller. And that propeller is like as if it's spinning.
Okay.
And that's the emblem on the hood of all BMWs. Because they used to make airplanes, and they made them during World War II. And at the end of World War II, BMW said that they will not make any more airplanes. So thus, they started making cars.
That's sad.
What was the name of that?
The kind of
Yeah,
aircraft they
Yeah.
made, Messerschmitts.
Messerschmitts. Now, what's that mean?
That means fast darn plane.
Fast darn plane.
Messerschmitt. That's a guy who makes a mess.
That's
or
how you,
something.
if you say it fast, Messerschmitt,
Messerschmitt. Right at the end, they started making jets. I know
which
that.
would be faster.
Yes.
Now, did they promise not to make jets, or not going to make that either?
No jets, no airplanes whatsoever.
Was that in the armistice agreement? Now that they couldn't make them anymore.
I'm not sure about the armistice.
I think that was signed on the aircraft carrier with that Japanese guy.
Oh,
They made that arrangement.
they made that arrangement.
What was his name?
Yakamoto.
Yeah.
Yamajito.
And he made VCRs. They called them.
He made VCRs and everything smaller.
The top loaders only.
Okay.
Was that the only BMW you've ever had, or have you had other ones?
No, I have a new one now, and the new one is 10 years old when I bought it, and I own a 2002. And I
Which is
like
newer.
that. It's much newer. How many years newer is that? About 15 years newer than the other one.
Correct, which you owned for 20 years before that.
Right, right, that is correct. Which I'm trying to sell, but not very hard. It still sits at home.
What is, like, if you had to pare it down, what would be like the hardest thing that ever happened to you in your BMW, or was it ever damaged or anything like that?
Well, yes, I was hit by deer. I
Oh.
was driving down the road. I was going to school early in the morning, about 6 o'clock in the morning, ran into a herd of deer, hit the brakes, slid the car sideways, stopped, and a female, a doe, came running along while I was stopped, ran right into the side of it.
Wow. Wow.
Smashed the quarter panel and the door in.
Did you have to, was that like a pretty penny trying to get that thing fixed?
Oh, well, it wasn't too bad.
Okay. Insurance
It
and all
wasn't
that.
too bad. Insurance
you-
took care of
Did
it.
you keep the deer?
No, the deer, I don't know what happened to the deer.
Oh, that's too bad.
I think she hit the car and was all right, but
Did you get her
put a
license
lot
plate?
of- no, I didn't. So that's my only accident.
So
with the
IC
car.
stands for,
Fuel injection.
And then it's
the
convertible.
C stands for convertible.
so did you ever have any problems with the convertible? Did it ever leak or anything like that?
Yes, one time. What happened is it was an old top, the original top on it, and my cat, whose name was Shat, was sleeping on top of the car. And Shat
That's
fell
a joke
right
that I'm not even
through,
going to touch.
fell right through the top of the car.
Your cat's name was Shat.
Shat. My
Shat
son
the cat.
named the cat Shat.
Is that a past tense of anything?
Can we edit
No,
this out
not at
later?
Well, Shat fell through right over where the driver's side is, right over the top. It put a big slit in the top of the car.
That's too bad. So how did you fix
I had to
that?
get a new convertible top.
Okay. So
Next day, or?
is Shat still laying on your car?
No, Shat passed away, and I have another cat. And this cat also likes to get on top of the car also, on both of them. So I've learned I put a piece of cardboard on the top of the car every night.
I have to do that just to me.
You do.
Because I have a cat laying on me or something.
All right. So you cover yourself in
That's
cardboard.
right. Yeah.
So have you ever driven with the cardboard still on the roof?
No, never.
Unbeknownst
Not
that it was
once.
there?
Or the cat?
No, never. No, not the cat. No, never have.
So did you have Shat mounted?
No, buried
Stuffed?
in the backyard.
Was she named after William Shatner?
No. My son named, I think in French,
Okay.
Chat means cat.
Okay.
We gotta look that up.
I think.
We're going to check on that.
All right.
Can we have that? Can we have someone in editing look that up, please? I think so. We're gonna need to validate the Shat the cat scenario.
It's like, I think it's a Seussian thing, I think, really.
No, you're thinking of onomatopoeias.
Well, Seussian, Shat the cat. Well, I don't want Shat the cat in my hat. It's fat, you know.
The cat in the hat.
Yeah, something
Named Shat.
like that. Yeah.
We could run with this all
I think we
day.
have some
yes.
material here. Speaking of books, are you writing a book right now?
I still am trying to put together a book. I have been a teacher for 25 years and teaching students how to write short stories. And I have written short stories with students.
I did that once upon a time.
Oh, a couple of short stories?
No, not really.
Okay. And with the short stories, they're little shorts. And what I've tried to do is write a story. And a story that has blended in and fallen into a novel. And I must say I've been working on it for a long, long time. And I still haven't got it finished.
Yeah. So you're polishing it, you're rereading it, and all that
Rereading
stuff,
it.
just like we tell the
yes.
kids, right?
Yes. Yes.
Revise it and all that.
And mine is just getting all of the stories written. It has 34 chapters.
Wow.
And I've yet to fill quite a few of the chapters. But the main part, the characters, the setting, the main part of the story, the beginning, the climax, and the end is completed. It's tying up all the loose ends, which is very difficult.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I appreciate you being here. Just like any guest on Mastication Station, they know that we have to do a little competition. And so here it is. If you
Okay, here we
open
go.
this up, and you can pick your straw here. We're gonna move.
Right?
We're gonna move these jelly beans with straws, or as they say in the Northeast, straws. And you can take that. You're gonna move it across that.
Oh, across
I'm gonna
this
move
line.
mine across this.
Okay.
Oh, you're cheating.
Oh.
Move yours across that.
Oh, across this line.
And we're going to see who can get them all first. You want to practice?
Oh, nope.
Wait,
I
move
don't
the
need
box.
to practice. It's just
Move the
on
box.
the word
Move the
go.
box.
Move the box so the
these.
audience can get a good
And-
visual.
Okay, there it is. See?
Hey, no
all
starting
its
early.
glory.
I got to count it.
Yep, I
he's gonna say
got it
go, I
all
guess.
figured out.
Okay.
You guys ready?
We're gonna see who does it first.
Serious blowhards here. Really? 3, 2, 1, go. And Tony's got 2 over there. Bill Bailey's struggling.
Uh-oh.
Tony's
I might
still-
actually.
Come on, Tony, suck hard. Come on, Tony. Come on, Bill. You're our hero, Bill.
This could be.
Come on, it's gonna be close.
Oh no.
It's gonna be close.
Oh no, Mr. Schmidt.
No, Mr. Schmidt.
Got it.
Oh!
Bill Valley, everybody. Good
job,
Welcome him.
Bill.
Goodbye. Thank you very much. We'll be right back
Thank
after
you.
this.
Right, folks.
Relax, Daddy Chris, it's only me. Noisy devils, aren't they? Those potato chips named Daddy Crisp after you? Or were you named Daddy Crisp after those noisy potatoes? They're a lot noisier than you are, but you're both lovable.
If you love your daddy, you love Daddy Chris. Potato chips.
Okay. Welcome back to Mastication Station. That was Bill Valley. He is fascinating.
Yeah.
Next is Roz Brown. She is a physical therapist and other things. So we're going to talk to Roz about that. So here's Roz. Everybody, would you please welcome Roz?
Thank you.
And that's Lee Daly behind me, the studio Ed.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
So-
to meet everyone.
Yeah, we just
Now
got
you
the
tell
studio
me.
recently, so we're still trying to
Awesome.
get used to it. So.
Actually, we need to be out of here pretty soon because I heard the 2 guys in a truck are backing up. They repossessed most of our furniture. So if we could speed this along so that we can possess
Well,
the car.
I paid the bill though. I mean, it was credit card.
Well, you have to sign your name to a check. You just can't put it in an envelope and send it.
They don't take Mickey Mouse.
Not so much. I think they're going to tow Bill's 82 BMW.
Let's hope, but keep the 02. 02 would be good.
02.
I'm
New
sorry,
02.
you're here. So this is Roz. How long have you been a physical therapist?
For about 14 years.
14 years now.
Yes.
That has got to, I would think, hurt your hands over time.
Well, I wasn't working in the chiropractic office for that long.
Uh-huh.
I think working that long probably I would be
Okay.
feeling it because that's more intense. I was more of kind of a gypsy therapist. I had clients that I just kind of traveled to their house and
okay.
did massages here and there, but
So did you carry like a big bed thing, foldy up
big
thing?
fold-up table. I'd bring it on in and
So what's the hardest part about being a physical therapist that maybe people don't think about?
the physical strain.
On your
that
hands and
hands and body, because body posture is really important for the therapist when you're working on somebody, because you can hurt your back or your arms or your neck working on somebody if you don't have the right body posture.
so you have to like get your knee in there and get on them and get on the
Their
top
elbow,
off the top rope.
Oh,
Yeah, off the top rope, some
Yeah. Now I've heard rumors that you actually have to sharpen your elbows before every
yes,
meet.
that was a requirement in school. Yeah, had to
think
make
you should
sure they were
pursue the-
super pointy.
Pursue the gypsy thing. That's kind of intriguing. I mean, caravan, kind of wagon, gypsy
Yeah,
wagon.
my own. Well, I do have a Ford Flex, which is a station wagon, apparently.
Ah.
So, put it in my wagon and
Now,
drive around.
as a gypsy, do you have to wear the paraphernalia on your head and all that?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
And I wasn't one of those weird massage therapists either, because
With beads and
yes, and,
And,
I can feel
harpsichords.
your aura.
Stones.
that's good. And your chi? Was people's chi out of
Yes,
line?
Their chi.
Yeah.
Oh, I've actually done some of that polarity therapy where you do the energies of the body
Oh,
and worked
interesting.
on people, and especially with people with amputees. You actually have to work the part that's missing
Really?
because they have ghost feelings in there
Okay.
that still get sent to their body. So when you do that polarity therapy, you actually work on those parts.
Well, that's
as well.
interesting.
It's
Kind of like
very
your ex-wife, Tony.
interesting.
What?
Ghost feelings.
Yes, often.
Ex-girlfriends.
Often.
Ghost
If
feelings.
only I'd had an ex-girlfriend, they would have had, of course. So, how many backsides do you see a day?
I work on a lot of every day.
Do you ever recognize them at the store? Oh, I've seen that one before.
No, I haven't yet.
I didn't know if you'd recognize because you see this is my face.
Yes.
You've seen the front
I've
of me
never
now.
seen the suit before,
No.
so this is totally new side of you.
So, as other than the physical therapist, you have, I hear, worked in movie theaters.
Yes, I have.
So, when was that? Was that in like high school or something?
That's when I first started, was in high school. I was a projectionist. And
Does that mean you give your other people your feelings?
Nope.
Oh.
But I did project out into the crowd sometimes. You know, we had summer camps where the kids would all come in to see the movies, and I would yell down into the theater from the booth and be like, "Are you ready for the movie?" And they'd be like, "Yeah!" And so I'd start it up, and
Was that you had to like hit the focus button or something too?
it was all film, so I had to.
Reel to reel and all that?
Yep.
Because they go digital now.
Yep, that's actually why I stopped working as a
Because of digital?
projectionist. Yep, my theater went digital and kind of phased me out. And
Oh, so you would have done it, but they didn't need the people anymore.
absolutely, they were starting to put them on thumb drives and plugging them right into the projectors
Oh,
That
and
takes all the fun
downloading
out of
them
it.
from satellites. And it got really cool. Actually, I got to learn how to do that, but they just didn't need all of us.
so they trained you and then they got you out of there.
Basically.
You miss looking out the windows and seeing the kids below?
Yes, I do. Well, I've seen a lot of stuff.
What have you seen in theaters that have been kind of strange? Like behaviors or
Now, this is a
Well,
family show,
since I
Tony.
lived quite close to MSU campus,
yes.
there was lots of college shenanigans. Peeing over railings. And,
Seriously? Wow.
Oh, yes, and other unmentionable acts, which were kind of odd because they tend to happen in kids' movies that play late at night.
Oh, why would they play a kids movie late at night?
Well, like that 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock showing.
Oh, that late at night. I see.
Like,
Yeah, I usually hit the sheets at about 7:30.
yeah, so, you know, there's no kids in there. There's usually nobody in there. That
Except
was
for
their
maybe two,
opportunity.
maybe three.
I have no idea.
So while you were working in the movie theater, did you try to go in for free, or you probably able to? Weren't
Actually,
you?
since I was the projectionist, I put the movies together before the night that they came out, and I was in charge of watching them to make sure that they were put together right, make sure the film didn't have any scratches or any imperfections, and if they did, I had to get on the phone and be like, "Hey, I need a new reel number 4 by tomorrow. Get it here." And
Wow.
so that was
High
the
tech.
funnest part was picking out all the trailers too, and make.
Oh, you got to do all that?
Yeah, I got to
Oh,
do
that's
all of
cool.
that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I
Did
Did you ever
loved
bring
working
any of
with
the
the
posters
film.
home, like the
Oh,
movie theater
yes.
posters? Oh, I always thought
that'd
that'd
be
be
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
and then any posters that were left over, we would do an auction for the guests.
I'd like to have an author poster. Oh, I love that.
You would.
Actually.
It's just strange.
Is that Pacino or something? Like some New York 70s. Ugh. What was the best movie that was playing when you were working there?
Well, I have seen the last 2 Star Wars come out at different theaters, because I worked at 2 different theaters. Passions of the Christ was pretty intense.
That was
I
intense.
watched that at night all by myself. That was very intense to watch by myself in a big theater.
Wow, by yourself.
Yes, by myself. Super late. It was crazy. Very intense.
Did you watch like the original Back to the Future or something like that? I mean, when was the?
We did a Halloween one of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Oh.
That was awesome. That was a really good one. We
Did
were
you ever
excited
do,
to get that on film.
What was that movie where everybody has to play a part and they have to throw stuff at the screen?
Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror.
Picture Show.
Did you ever do that?
No, we never had that, but I've always wanted to do it, and I heard that they played it Fright Night here in Fort Wayne. I wanted to go see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go prepared for that one.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
you
was
have to wear
thinking.
your
Toast
spandex and your
squirt
hammer
gun
pants
and
and your
garbage cans and vampire teeth,
and your chicken wire
chicken wire, and
Your
your
fishnet
barbecue
socks.
chicken
Fishnet
wings
socks.
and socks.
and your and other things that I can't remember.
Roman
Yeah.
helmet.
Do you like stuff?
Yes, I
Do you have any stuff?
We have lots of stuff.
I have a whole garage full of stuff, as my husband would say.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming. We're going to try a little competition.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
We tried it with Bill Valley. I actually beat him.
Ooh,
It's the
all
first
right.
time I've ever beaten anybody. You can take these out and put them on the
Okay.
table. And then I'm going to give you a straw, and you can actually pick the straw, whichever
I
you
want
want.
green.
You like green? Okay. I'm going to give you another straw. It's going to go here. Mine's going to go here. Our goal is to be able to open the bag up first, which you obviously were able to do. But you're a physical therapist, so obviously opening bags is not a difficulty for you at all.
You should
Got
put the
good
straws actually
dexterity.
in front of
Dexterity,
you.
yeah, you know, you got the opposable thumbs and all that stuff.
So like this
You
in
should put
front
the
of
straws
me?
Like
in front
that.
of you because that's cheating the way you're doing it. Because Tony, you're closer to your straw.
Okay,
Like
how about
this?
that?
No, right in front of you.
Like this?
Like where your sternum is, go forward.
I have a sternum right here,
Yeah.
like that?
No.
Like this.
God, how did you graduate high school?
I didn't, okay.
That's a good point. How did you graduate middle school?
I'm going to do this, and I'm going to cut his mic. Okay.
All right.
We're going to try to get our jelly beans from this side to that side, like this.
Oh. So I gotta get
Now we're
my
going to try to see who does it first.
sucker going.
Get your sucker going. You want to practice one since I did?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good.
You ready? Ready? Okay. Lee, when you say
So
go.
Why am I counting again? Isn't it just whoever gets it done
Well,
first?
I thought maybe it'd take longer. It didn't. So
No,
okay, just say go and
I'm
we'll
not
go.
going to count this time.
Because you lost count anyway. Because you didn't graduate. either.
Hippogriffs and giraffes.
You think he'd know how to count to 30?
Well, you'd think
couldn't.
you'd know what a
He's like
sternum is.
Antebellum, Trilobellum.
Yeah,
and
okay.
all
Can we
these
get
things.
started?
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
Uh-oh.
He is whooping on you.
I'm gonna get dizzy.
Pass it.
Ah!
Tie.
It's
Tied.
a tie.
Tied. Good enough. Hey, everybody. Thank you to Roz. Please
you
welcome
for
her.
having
She's
me.
been here for a while. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this, everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Battleship! Battleship! Battleship, Milton Bradley's great game of strategy. It's loaded with action and suspense. Play it anytime, anywhere.
B4. Hit. J1. Huh, you missed. J10. Oh, you sunk like Battleship.
Battleship, a game of strategy from Milton Bradley.
I hope that didn't get mic'd. That's my case of gastronomimus.
Yeah, gastro. All right.
Oh, good.
Well, hey, welcome back to Mastication Station. I'm your host. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Welcome back to Mastication Station. We've done yet another show, and no one in here is hurt except, well, that guy.
And your feelings.
My feelings were hurt a couple times.
Bill's roof.
How was your Christmas?
You know, my Christmas, had it not been for the fact that we had the windstorm before, and then we had the 2 feet of snow the day of, and then the weirdest thing happened. I went out to my garage, and my roof was all scratched up by my cat.
Wait, of your garage or of your car?
Of my car.
Okay.
You know, and that's quite a leap. To get up there. And so, I mean, I can understand what Bill said about his
Because your
cat
car's like
falling
20
through.
feet tall. I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
it's
a
tall.
monster. It's a
So
USA
I'm thinking, keep the roof, keep the cat.
Yeah.
You know,
Neither.
Neither. Yeah, no. So yeah, I got a few presents. I got a tie, not as bad as yours.
No.
But you know, it was pretty good. You know, it was short. It was like a day.
It was a day.
It
Yeah.
needs to be longer.
Should it be 2 days?
Well, there's a song, The 12 Days of Christmas, right?
Hello? Yeah.
12 days.
But who wants 5 golden rings all the time?
I'll take a partridge in a pear tree.
Is that,
12 Lords a Leaping.
was that like a code song, wasn't it?
It was, I think the BMW company actually wrote that song.
BMW stands for?
Bavarian Master,
Mighty Veins.
Mighty Wigwams. I think they built a lot of the American Indian wigwams.
Oh yeah, it is a W. I was thinking it was a V.
Yeah.
BMV, sorry.
It's-
That's another place.
Looks like something like that.
Well, hey, everybody, I'm glad you could make it. Please email us at masticationstation@yahoo.com and give us anything that you want. You can email us about that joke at the beginning, and you can tell us your vote, and you can give us any punchlines, and we can use it in the next show. And we also want to thank the hosts of our show tonight, which is Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas Rotary Club.
Rotary Club.
In our
And
VIP section.
In our VIP section. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And we will see you next time. Thanks for coming. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
You've been watching the Mastication Station. And now here's the list of people that you have to blame for all this. The show is almost over, so you can put your hammers down and go back to your business. And our sponsor this week is Spoons. Spoons. They have a concave side and a convex side. More uses than you can ever imagine. Thanks, Spoons. Curves and lines of grand designs against the run-of-the-mill. Swimming against the stream, life in 2 dimensions in a mass production scheme. Against the run-of-the-mill, static as it seems, we break the surface tension with our wild kinetic dreams. And you can email us with any questions or concerns or comments at masticationstation@yahoo.com. masticationstation@yahoo.com with any questions, concerns, or comments. Or you can vote for the joke that you wanted to hear. You can have a punchline ready for us. That's the end of the show. You can go back to your business. Amen.